This week, the universe is orchestrating a subtle but profound transformation that could easily slip under your radar if you're not paying close attention. The cosmic players, primarily the Moon, Mercury, and Venus, are aligning in a way that's less about loud, dramatic changes and more about quiet, almost imperceptible shifts that carry deep meaning. These celestial movements are setting the stage for a week that's less about action and more about awareness, urging you to tune into the undercurrents of your thoughts, emotions, and instincts. If you move through these days on autopilot, distracted by routines or surface-level concerns, you risk missing the powerful messages the stars are sending. This isn't a week to rush through. It's a time to slow down, reflect, and question what feels certain, because what seems clear today might look entirely different by next week. The cosmos is inviting you to pause, to feel the weight of the moment, and to trust that even the subtlest nudges are leading you towards something significant. By staying present and open, you'll catch glimpses of truths that others might overlook, setting yourself up to navigate the changes that will unfold in the weeks ahead with clarity and purpose. Before we dive deeper, I'd love for you to do 3 quick things. Give this message a thumbs up, hit subscribe for more insights, and type, "I'm ready," in the comments below. That phrase carries powerful energy and will amplify this message's reach. If you want, share this with someone who might benefit and add light to their spiritual awakening. April 19th, Mercury's morning peak. On April 19th, Mercury climbs to its highest point in the morning sky, casting a bright, almost dazzling glow that might make you feel like your mind is firing on all cylinders. It's as if the planet of communication and intellect is promising breakthroughs, offering you a surge of confidence in your ideas and decisions. But here's the catch. This brilliance is deceptive, and the clarity you feel might not be as solid as it seems. Your thoughts could be tangled in unprocessed emotions, old doubts, or even subconscious fears that you haven't fully acknowledged. That bold plan or sudden insight that feels like a game changer, it might be more fragile than you realize, prone to unraveling when you least expect it. Mercury's peak is a test of discernment, urging you to question your impulses rather than act on them immediately. Take a step back, give your ideas time to breathe, and let them settle before committing to anything major. This is a moment to trust your mind, but also to recognize its limits, especially when emotions are quietly pulling the strings. By practicing patience and checking in with your deeper instincts, you'll avoid the pitfalls of Mercury's alluring but potentially misleading shine. April 21st, the last quarter moon's emotional stir. When the last quarter moon arrives on April 21st, it brings with it an energy that's raw, unfiltered, and deeply personal, stirring parts of your psyche that you might not even realize are still active. This isn't a gentle, reflective moon phase. It's a cosmic wake-up call that reaches into the corners of your soul where unresolved feelings have been tucked away. You might find yourself reacting strongly to things that normally wouldn't faze you, like a coworker's offhand remark or a small inconvenience at home, and wonder why these moments are hitting so hard. This is your inner self, perhaps even your younger, more vulnerable self, demanding to be acknowledged after years of being silenced to maintain harmony. You might feel an urge to break from routine, to cancel plans, or to retreat into solitude without a clear reason why. These impulses aren't signs of weakness or instability. They're your soul's way of carving out space to process what's been buried. This moon doesn't care about your carefully curated schedules or your mindfulness practices. It's here to crack open the polished exterior and let the messy, authentic you breathe. If you feel irritable, restless, or even a little reckless, don't suppress it. Lean into those emotions because they're guiding you toward a breakthrough. Healing doesn't always look like calm meditation or tidy journal entries. Sometimes it's chaotic, loud, and unapologetic. And that's exactly what this moon is here to facilitate. Mercury's great escape. On April 21st, alongside the last quarter moon, Mercury performs a striking maneuver known as its greatest elongation west, stretching as far from the sun as it can in its orbital dance. This isn't just an astronomical event. It's an energetic shift that disrupts the usual flow of your thoughts, pulling you away from logic and into a more intuitive, almost dreamlike state of mind. You might notice your mental clarity faltering, replaced by a haze where ideas feel just out of reach, like words on the tip of your tongue. Strange dreams, fleeting memories, or moments of déjà vu might linger longer than usual, leaving you with a sense that something deeper is trying to communicate. These aren't random glitches. They're messages from your subconscious, encoded in symbols and feelings rather than straightforward facts. This fog isn't a flaw in your thinking. It's a deliberate cosmic filter, slowing you down so you can tune into what's truly important. Mercury's escape from the sun's light is like a signal to let go of overanalyzing and trust the quieter, less rational parts of yourself. Pay attention to what surfaces in moments of stillness, whether it's a random thought, a vivid image, or an unexplained urge. The universe is speaking, but it's using a language that requires patience and openness to decode. By surrendering to this process, you'll start to sense the outlines of truths that are still forming, preparing you for revelations that will come into focus later. The witching hours, 3 to 5 a.m. If you've been waking up between 3 and 5 a.m. lately, feeling restless, anxious, or strangely alert, you're not alone, and it's not just stress or a bad night's sleep. These early morning hours, often called the witching hours, are when the cosmic veil between the conscious and subconscious thins, allowing subtle planetary energies to brush against your awareness. The Moon, Mercury, and Venus are particularly active during this time, sending ripples through your nervous system that might manifest as a racing heart, a half-remembered dream, or a sudden wave of emotion you can't quite place. In traditional practices, this is considered the liver's time, when the body processes stored emotions like anger, grief, or frustration. But from a spiritual perspective, it's a sacred window when your intuition is at its peak, unburdened by the distractions of daily life. If you find yourself awake during these hours, resist the urge to scroll your phone or force yourself back to sleep. Instead, lie still, breathe deeply, and let your mind drift without judgment. The thoughts, images, or feelings that emerge might seem vague or disconnected, but they're fragments of a larger message. This is when the universe slips its secrets through the cracks, offering insights that your waking mind might not yet be ready to fully grasp. By honoring these moments, you're opening a channel to your deeper wisdom, one that will guide you through the week's uncertainties. April 24th, Venus lights up the truth. On April 24th, Venus takes center stage, reaching its greatest elongation and shining with a brilliance that's impossible to ignore in the early morning sky. This isn't just a beautiful celestial display. It's a moment of reckoning, where the planet of love, values, and desire casts a piercing light on the truths you've been avoiding. Venus governs not just romance, but the things you hold dear, the compromises you've made, and the facades you've upheld to keep the peace. Under this intense glow, you might suddenly see with stark clarity the relationships that drain you, the goals that no longer align with your heart, or the habits you've clung to out of fear rather than joy. This moment can feel exposing, like standing in front of a mirror that reveals every flaw and strength without mercy. But Venus isn't here to judge or punish. It's here to liberate you by forcing you to confront what's no longer sustainable. You might feel a mix of discomfort and relief as these truths come into focus, along with a powerful urge to act. Trust that instinct, but don't rush. Let the awareness settle before making big moves. Venus's light is a gift, illuminating the path to a life that's more authentic and aligned with your true values, even if it means letting go of what's familiar. Why this week matters. At first glance, this week might seem uneventful, with no major eclipses or dramatic planetary clashes to grab your attention. But don't be fooled. This is a loaded week, where the quiet movements of the Moon, Mercury, and Venus are laying the groundwork for changes that will ripple into May and beyond. The Moon's fading light is watching, not revealing, inviting you to sit with uncertainty rather than chase answers. Mercury's mental haze is rewiring how you process information, pushing you toward intuition over logic. Venus's piercing glow is exposing the gaps between what you say you value and what you're actually living. Together, these forces are shifting the terrain of your inner world, and if you ignore the subtle signs, the off moods, the vivid dreams, the moments of doubt, you might find yourself caught off guard when the bigger changes arrive. The universe doesn't always signal its intentions with fireworks, More often, it sends whispers, testing who's listening. Those who brush off the nudges this week might wonder later why their plans unraveled or their emotions erupted seemingly out of nowhere. But for those who pay attention, this week is a chance to get ahead of the curve, to align with the cosmic flow before it sweeps you along. By staying present, you're not just surviving the week, you're preparing for what's next. How to navigate the week. Pause before deciding. With Mercury's deceptive clarity and the moon's emotional pull, hasty decisions could backfire. If something feels urgent, give it a few days to reveal its true weight. Time is your ally this week. Embrace the messy. If you're moody, reactive, or even a little childish, don't judge yourself harshly. These feelings are surfacing for a reason. Let them flow, because they're clearing the way for growth. Listen in the quiet. Pay attention to dreams, random thoughts, or early morning insights, especially between 3 and 5 a.m. These are the universe's subtle signals, carrying wisdom you'll understand in time. Face the truth. When Venus's light exposes uncomfortable realities on April 24th, don't look away. Acknowledge what you see. Even if it challenges your comfort zone, it's the first step toward change. Stay open. The mental fog and emotional intensity aren't here to confuse you. They're protecting you, guiding you toward clarity at the right moment. Trust the process and let go of the need for immediate answers. This week is a turning point, disguised as a quiet pause in the cosmic rhythm. By the end of April, you'll look back and see how these subtle shifts planted the seeds for something bigger. Stay curious, stay grounded, and let the stars lead you through the haze toward a clearer, truer version of yourself.